So what we have discussed last class?
We talked about list.
Okay. So we were discussing about the collection data type.
Yeah.
In collection data type, there is a one method which is called as a get SObject type. There is a method which is called as a get SObject type. So what is this get SObject type? Get SObject type is basically it returns Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
The Notepad++, right?
Yeah.
Okay. It returns the token of the SObject type. Token of the SObject type that makes up the list of the SObject. So basically it returns the token of the SObject type. What is the token of the SObject type? For example, so let's assume that I am writing the SOQL query. I'm writing the SOQL query. SOQL query, how it will be? Ideally, select ID from account. That means from account, I'm querying it, which is a limit one. I'm just querying the one record. So when I query it, I wanted to store these all information into one container. So that one container is, let's assume that SObject is the container. SObject, let's give a name to that, equal to database.query is, which is a, we will talk about later, but for now let's understand database.query. Inside this I'm going to write a select ID from account limit 1. So what we are doing, we are querying the account, which is a one account. I'm querying it, and then I'm storing into the one container called SObject container using the SOBJ variable. Now, if I say SOBJ dot, if I say SOBJ dot, I can say get SObjectType. It verifies if the SObject variable is an account token or not. Let me go ahead and show in the developer console. So developer console. Debug, open executive, anonymous window. Okay. Now what will happen if I write this? So what I'll do is, instead of this, let me go ahead and let's see how, if I print, what will happen. First, let me execute this, which is executed perfectly fine. There is no debug. So my SObject has a one ID. Okay. Now debug open. If I try to print this, system.debug. System.debug. Now let's go ahead and see if I execute this, what will happen. It executed perfectly fine. And the debug is account. What is the value it gave? Account. It gave account. That means what is the variable? We'll talk about database.query. Don't worry about that. That is, assume that right now we have to just query. We have to just query it. So my focus right now is to make you understand what is this get SObjectType. Ideally, get a SObjectType is what it will give. It will give whether it returns the token of SObjectType, whether it is an account or not, those kind of a token it will receive. So get a SObjectType is basically it is returning the account, but we are querying the SOQL. So database.query is something we will talk when we have a batch class which is running on. Okay, so assume that right now I'm just doing the query. Okay, forget about the database.query. So I'm just doing the query. So, and I'm storing into one SObject. Ideally, we don't know what is this SObject. Could be a contact. If I write a contact here, what is this actually, where it is running it? So where
In
it
the
is,
contact object.
yeah. So in the contact object, it is running it. So SObject, get SObjectType is going to give us the contact. Okay. In other direction, let's take out the database.query. In other direction, what I'll do is instead of this, I'll make a simpler query. List of SObject q equal to new account. New account. Now what will happen? This is we are creating a list of generic SObject. This is list of generic SObject. This SObject can be stored any object, not only the account. It can be stored contact, opportunity, lead, whatever it might be. Okay. Now highlight this, execute it. Line number 3. So which is semicolon is missing. Okay, let's execute. Variable does not exist SObject. That means this is a, here we have given the q. So instead of that, let's declare the variable as SObj. Now click on execute. Now let's go ahead and print the debug. What it is giving, account. So if we are not clear about the database.query for now, so let's assume that we have completed the list, right? So list of either we can give a primitive data type or SObject data type, right? So I can give a primitive data type or SObject data type. So right now,
Here we should give list of SObject SOBJ equal to new list of SObject, right? Instead of
yeah, you
list of
can do that.
SObject, we have given just account.
Yes, you can do that. For example, if you are initializing it. Now, for example, I'm taking the account. Okay. Account ACC equal to new list of account. What is this? If I write this code, this particular ACC, whatever the variable is there, which is going to work for only for the account.
Okay.
Only for the account. But let's assume that you have something generic code is there. Okay. This
Okay.
object name is somebody else is passing from the outside of this method.
Okay.
You have to make the code to work for any object.
Okay.
The generic way which we have to implement. So assume that I have a window. So I have UI. Okay, in the UI, I have one pick list. Okay, so this pick list is, assume that this is an object pick list. So in this object, if I click on a drop down, in drop down, all the object names it is going to show me. Custom object or standard object, all the object it is going to show me as soon as I click on this. If I select account, where here, if I am selecting here account, as soon as I select the account, assume that we have a submit button here. Assume that we have a submit button here, right? On clicking on submit, I want to execute some business logic. Business logic is sitting here. This is a business logic, and assume that this is a Visualforce page. Okay, or some UI. Now, as soon as I click on a button, based on the object selection, I wanted to query based on object selection on the UI. On the UI, we want to, or developer want to query it. Developer want to query. Now, as if this is the scenario is there, what you will do? First, you will do list of account ACC equal to new list of account. You will initialize this, right? And for contact, you will again initialize the contact. For patient, you will initialize the patient. Like for example, you have 1,000 objects. For each object, you have to declare it, right? You have to declare it for the each object.
Yeah.
So instead of doing it for the 1,000 time declaration, 1,000 time initializing for the each object, what I can simply say is, instead of this, SObject. What I can do, I can take this. So whoever is coming from the top, so whoever is coming from the top here, from here to here, it simply get it and it will assign to the SObject. SObject means any object it will work. It can work for any object. Now, once it is passed here, based on the, once it is passed here, based on the SObj dot, based on the get SObjectType, I can identify what is the object that is passed by UI.
Okay.
Got it? Is everybody clear? SObject data type, get SObjectType.
Yes, ma'am.
Rana, are you clear? I cannot hear you if you are speaking. Okay. So SObject data type is to identify the token, returns the token of the SObject type. Return the token of the SObject type means which object does that list contain? Which object does that list contains? So that is what it is going to return the information. Okay, so that is basically, that is the purpose of using it. So we use in the real time in big projects when we have these kind of a business scenarios which are coming into play. Like they were not only the 1,000, if you have to implement a generic component. Okay, because in future, whatever the code I write it, this is the common class which we are going to use it for the query. Use it for the query or use it for some business logic. In that case, what I can do is I can separately implement a business logic which handles this scenario and keep it somewhere here. Now, whenever this kind of a logic comes, simply what I'll do, I'll call this particular method and pass the details to whatever is needed. So what will happen? This method can be used by anyone. because this is generic logic which we have implemented. It is not specific to the account. It is not specific to the any object. It is generic one. So when we write like this list of SObject, in order to identify, in order to developer to do more business logic on top of this, in order to identify which object came to this, how we will know that get SObjectType, which will return the token of the SObjectType. Now coming to the next collection is set. Next one is set. Set. Set is another collection data type. What is the set? Set is a set is unordered collection of primitive or SObject. When I say SObject, this comes both standard object as well as the custom object. Standard object or custom object. What is the set? Set is a unordered collection of primitive or SObject which does not contain a duplicate. Which does not contain a duplicate. So what is the difference between the set and list? List has a whatever the data we give, it takes it as it is. And list contains the duplicate data. Whereas set does not contain the duplicate data. It will take out the duplicate data. And set is unordered collection. There is no order for this set. Whereas list is ordered. What is the difference between the set and list? List is having the duplicate data, whereas set does not have a duplicate data. And set is unordered collection, whereas list is ordered collection. Let's go ahead and see the properties. Set properties. First property. Set contains a keyword set. Set contains a keyword set. And second property is set second property, set cannot hold duplicates. Set cannot hold the duplicates. And the third one, set rearranges the data by increasing order. Rearranges the data by increasing order. We'll see that what is rearrange the data means. Okay. Now next property is set does not have an index. Set does not have an index. Set does not have an index. In the real time, set is mostly used to declare IDs, to store the IDs. In real time, Set is mostly used for storing the IDs, which is 18-digit IDs or could be any like a IDs or some string values, right? Storing the IDs or string values. Mostly we use for this. Or string or unique key values, unique key data. In the real time, set is used to store the IDs or unique keys or some primitive data values. So what is the difference between the set and list? There are three things are there, which is list is
Ordered collection of data.
yes. First point is ordered collection of data, whereas set
Unordered.
unordered collection of data. Okay. And the second one,
List contains duplicates. Set does not contain duplicates.
list contains duplicates, and here set does not contain duplicates. Third one,
List has index and set does not have index.
yes. So list has index specifically. It stores the values based on the index, whereas set does not have index concept. Does not have index concept. Now let me go ahead and show you the examples. Now coming to the set. Okay. So set is similar like a list, but there are differences as we discussed. So let's see set of, let me take primitive data type string, and let's store the cities. New set of string. Okay. Now let me declare a values here. Let's say Hyderabad, Chennai, Bangalore, and then I'll repeat the some data. Let's say HYD, comma, Delhi, comma. I'll give all small, and also I'll give another one Mumbai. Let's take Karnataka, and then all uppercase Hyderabad. Let's see what happens here. Okay. I have a Hyderabad 4 times it is repeated. Capital H, small yd is repeated twice, small hyd and capital HYD. Let's see what it is going to do. System.debug. Let's print it. System.debug. What is the output that we are going to get it? What is the output that we are going to get it? Set does not allow the duplicates. So what is the value that we are going to get it?
Only one Hyderabad and other cities.
Okay. How about others?
Yes, ma'am. Same.
Okay, let's go ahead and see. Is Apex is case sensitive or in case sensitive?
Insensitive. Case
Insensitive.
insensitive.
Okay. So what is the values it is written? It taken the HYD. Now you will not see the same order. Okay, it will be automatically sorted. When we declare the values in the set, it will automatically sorted. So fourth one is sorting is auto applied. Here somebody has to do the sorting. Sorting is done manually. Okay, it sorted. First it printed the Bangalore, then Chennai, then after that HYD, and then it took the HYD and it took the HYD K. So what is this meaning?
So is this case sensitive then?
Yes, case sensitive. So even capital small also does matter. So if it is the same format of is there, then it will return only one. But in case if HYD is written, one is with capital, one is with small, and again one is with all capital, it take if there is any capital small difference is also there, it will consider as a unique value. It will consider as a unique values. Let's say set also has a method similar like a list. So set has a method. Let's say that cities dot add, cities dot add. Let me add capital K. Okay. And let me print system.debug. This is add method. Let me go ahead and execute the highlighted one. What happened? It took the KA as well. And where it is added, automatically, I did not give any position to that. I did not give the index specific. It automatically took the index specific. So first in the sorting order, first it will consider as a everything capital, then it will move on to the small. We have another method. Let's understand what is the length. After adding the capital KA, what is the size of this? What is the size of my set? So cities dot size. Cities dot size. System dot debug cities dot, let's say that here we'll store it into the one integer cities size equal to cities dot size. Now let me go ahead and print the C size. Let's execute the highlighted one. Let me close all these debug logs. Okay, now let's go ahead and check the debug only. Size is 8. 8 city names I have. Now, in case if I wanted to remove any one of them, in case if I wanted to remove any one of them, so which is the remove method. Now in list, how we used to remove it? In case from the list, if I wanted to remove any values, how we used to remove it?
Using the index, using the index
Using the
number.
index, we used to remove it. Now let's say cities dot remove. Now I need not to say index here. I need not to say index here. Let me take out this HYD. I have it 2 times. Okay. Now I can mention HYD. Let's see what happens. Okay. Debug, I'm printing the same value. Now let me go ahead and print the cities. Execute the highlighted one. Debug. Now HYD, I have removed the HYD. So it basically, it took out the all the HYD, whatever we have. So right now it is a 7, size is 7. Now in case if I wanted to check whether is there any data or is my cities is, does it have any data inside this or is it empty? So how can we check? Is empty method. Is empty method. So we can check system.debug cities dot is empty. So what is the value that I'll get out? True or false?
False.
Check the debug, it is a false because there is a data which is already there. There is a data which is already there. Now, in case I wanted to copy the same set, I wanted to copy the same set and create another set. Using the same, I wanted to create another set. In case if I wanted to create another set, then we can use the method called clone. We can use the method called clone. So let's declare a set of string. So let's give this as a cities 2. Okay, so what I wanted to do, cities 2, I wanted to take this exact copy and then let's say clone. Let's say clone. Now let me go ahead and print cities 2. Let's give here some text, clone output. Now let's go ahead and print. Now you have to execute all the related commands. You cannot execute only these 3 because if you execute these 3, it will say cities is undefined. So we have to execute all the related lines, then only the output will come out. Click on debug. So clone output is similar: Bangalore, Chennai, Delhi, Hyderabad, Karnataka, Hyderabad, Karnataka. It exactly it copied the set and it created the another set. Now I have another set which is similar like a previous one. Now I wanted to clear all the values in second set. I wanted to clear all the values. So simply what I can say, system.debug cities.clear. So what will happen? It will clear all the data inside the cities 2. So this is a clear method. Okay, now let's go ahead and execute the highlighted one. Arithmetic operation. Okay. Now let's say here I'll give cities2.clear outside of this debug, and I'll just print the cities2 because it is already cleared. So I'll be able to capture the information of cities2. Let's go ahead and execute. Now what is the output? It cleared all the data. It cleared everything. Let's suppose right now all the data is storing into the array, right? Cities data, I'm storing everything into the array. Now in case from array, I wanted to bring it to the string. I wanted to bring it to the string. That means we have another method which is called as a toString. toString. So let's say that we have let's declare one variable string city, okay, city equal to, what I'll do is I'll take cities, data is in array. So from that, what I'll use is I'll take toString. So cities is actually an collection or array where the data is storing in the array. I wanted to move the data from array to the simple primitive data type string. Now let me go ahead and print this. System.debug, let's say city. Let me execute. Click on debug. See, all the data is in string. All the data is in string because we are storing into the string. We are storing into the string. String city equal to cities.toString. This everything is right now converted into the city. In the output, you will not see it will be same format, but it is already converted to the toString. Clear all the set methods, and there are many are there. You can go to the also we have something called contents. Okay, contents all equals. So contents is nothing but whether I have a data within that or not. So let's assume that let me comment out this piece. Okay, now let's assume that I have these cities. I have these cities, right? Now let's say Chennai. So what I want is I wanted to know whether my cities has a Chennai or not. Capital C H N. So what I'll do, cities dot contains I'll give CHN. And what is the output it will give? The output format is, it's a boolean format. It's a boolean format. Whether it will return yes or no, whether the data is, whether the list has the information or not. System.debug, and let's print the result. Let's go ahead and execute. Debug. See, it has the data. It returned true. That means it has the data. Now, in case if you wanted to go to the any time in future, if you do not remember this, then we have a something library, which is a kind of a book, Apex reference guide. Okay, inside the Apex reference guide, we have a set class. We have a set class. Inside this set class, there is a set constructor and set methods. The methods that we were discussing right now, add, clear, clone, contains, equals, is empty, remove all. So in case if you wanted to find this, how can you do that? Go to the Google, set dot class Apex. Just search this, set dot class Apex. So you will receive the one which we are looking for. So it will go to the set class. And in the set class, we have all the methods. Okay, we have all the methods that we discussed, most of them. Clear? Okay. So these are the set commands. Now moving on to the next one, which is a map. Which is a map. What is a map? Map is, this is another collection. This is another collection data type. Map is a collection of key value pair. Collection of key value pair. Collection of key value pair. Where each unique key match with single value. Key is a collection of key value pair where each unique key match with value. That means how is the value will be? It will be key and value pair. Key and value pair. Write down the properties. Properties are first one, complex data type. It is a, we use this for the complex data type in the real time. And map cannot hold the single value. Cannot hold the single value. It is always holds the pair. It always holds the pair value. That means when I say pair, key comma value. Key comma value. It does not go with one value. It has to have a key and respective value. Key has to be unique. Key has to be unique. No duplication. No duplicate no duplicate in key. Whereas value can be duplicate. Value can be duplicate. Value can be duplicate, possible. So what is the key value pair? How it is going to store? It's like simple example. State is the key and the capital. Or country, for each country, who are the PM, right? So kind of these values will be there. Key and value. Based on the key, we will try to identify the value. Now let me go ahead and show you the example of map. Yeah.
But key should be unique, right?
Sorry?
Okay. Key should be unique, right?
Yeah, key should be unique. Key has to be always unique.
Okay.
Now coming to the map example, how to declare first of all map. How to declare a map. So map could contain the primitive data type and a subject data type. That should be fine. So we can use either primitive data type or a subject data type. So map of string, comma, string. Here key is a string, value is a string. Let's give st, state capital stcp equal to new map of string, which is a key, is a string, and string, which is a value. Now, how are we going to store the key and values here? So key will be always here and equal to value. So this is how we store. Key equal to value. Here equal to is nothing but equal to and greater than, that means equal to. Now this is how we do. Now let's say Telangana and the capital is Hyderabad, Karnataka, and the capital is Bangalore, Kerala, and the capital is Thiruvananthapuram, so TCV, and that should be fine. Okay, so these are the three values, key values I have. Three key value pair that I have. One is Telangana, Karnataka, and Kerala. Okay, or else I can take another one, another map. Let's go with another map. Map of, this time we will take integer. This time we will take map of key. My key will be integer and the value will be string. Possible. Key can have a integer, values will be string. So this time we will take the cricket rank. Okay, so new map of integer comma string, integer comma string. Okay, so now cricket rank 1 equal to Sachin, comma 2 equal to Dhoni, and 3 equal to Sunil Gavaskar. Okay, now let's close this. Now these are my key values. Here the key is integer and value is string. On the above, key value both are string. Key value both are string. Now let me execute this, highlight this part, execute it. Now, right now we do not have a debug. If I click on the debug also, it will not show, but it has stored. Actually, it is converted the equal to colon. Telangana state equal to Hyderabad. 1 Sachin, 2 Dhoni, 3 Sunil. The way which I have given is, this is the one that I have given, but it took it in the, it converted key equal to value, key colon value, right? Now, is it only primitive and SObject? Can I store? Let's assume that I have something set. I have a set as well as I have a list. I have set as well as I have a list values. These two are separate. We learned set and list, right? Can I put list and set inside the map? Can I put set and list inside the map? Yes, we can put it. So how to put? So map of, what I'll do is, in the key, we have taken here string integer. Instead of string integer, what I'll do is set of integer, comma, list of string. List of string. Let's say variable name is new map equal to new map of set of string, set of integer, comma, list of string. List of string. Perfect. So the set of integer is, I have another one which says that set, and list of integer is, I have a list which is declared to capture some information. Now I'm combining those two and putting the values into the new map. How to add that? We will see that tomorrow. Till this point, any questions? Whatever we have discussed so far, any questions on that?
Oh, ma'am.
Okay. Interview questions. What is a list collection data type? What is a set collection data type? What is the difference between set and list collection data type? What is map collection data type? What is get SObject type in list? What is the get SObject type method? Okay, so that's all we have discussed today. Assignment. Implement set collection data for country. Okay, inside this let's say identify US country available instead of identify, print the output of whether US country is available in set or not. Add the new country to the existing set. Add multiple countries. Assume that three countries to the existing set. Get the size of set. Check whether the set has a value or not, values or not. Create another set which is copy of existing one, and then clear the new set, clear the data, clear the data in new set. Get the specific country details. Convert string set to string. convert set to list. Okay, so these are the one. No, tomorrow we do not have a class. These are the interview questions and assignment. Okay, so any questions before I move on to the advanced admin? Let's move on to the advanced admin.